spirits review, or even just a Wraggys review. You know, one of these days I'll remember it. 4 years, you know, what do you expect? So, have I got a tin opener? Because I ain't going to get far without a tin opener. Usually I've got about can down. Usually I've got more tin openers than a little, but tonight can't find any. But I've got one there. So the other week, a couple of weeks ago now, yeah, 3 weeks I think it is now. Timmons and Swaz from Edinburgh sent me 3 homebrew beers to try and review, and it's a kind and generous thing, you know, a generous thing to do, and also, you know, to give your beer to somebody who is a beer reviewer, you know, if you can call myself that, you know. But in any case, it's a lovely thing. So the red cap, which is what we've got here, it says it's a dry stout, round about 5 to 6%, so nice and sessionable. And I've already drank the session ale and the mango pale ale. Love both. I thought the mango pale ale was the king so far. So this will be interesting. I do love a stout. The funny thing is, if you look to the left, which you can't because, well, you can, because I can do that. There you go. I've got all my bloody homebrew there. So I'm going back into homebrewing big style. Eh? Yes, I'll be grain brewing probably Sunday. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Yes. Will I fuck it up? Probably. And to those people in Scotland, you know, obviously, I see the UK as all together. You know, I don't really differentiate Welsh, English, Scottish, Irish. I see us all as like a family. Obviously, a lot of Scottish people, and certainly Nicola Sturgeon, wants to, you know, for independence. And I get that. For me, if countries don't want to be part of a union, then it is what it is. But what's the general consensus up there? Because you hear it on the TV, and you know, our good man Rampant Lion, he wants Scotland to be independent, and fair play. You know, I have no qualms either way, really. You know, in some ways, I wish Nottinghamshire was independent of London, but there you go. Yeah. It's just interesting to see what people who live there, their thoughts, you know, because obviously we all feel. So obviously it's been on the shelf. So like a lot of beers just recently, they've been on the shelf, and I've noticed this with the heat. It would have probably been better straight from the fridge. So that's me. But I do like a stout at room temperature anyway, so it's good. It's not as warm today. 21 degrees in the beer room today. So it's a lovely black pour with a light tan head that you can see in a vocation glass. Wow. But yeah, it's an interesting thing. And then also my topic for this weekend. Well, I've got people who are watching the homebrew review, and while I wait for that to dissipate, is grain brewing. How exciting is it? You know. I'm excited and a little bit nervous. I mean, I've never used one of these jobbies in my life. I get the thing of putting hose pipe on either end, and obviously all of this is going to have to be, certainly the bit that goes into the water, is going to have to be, well, apart from them 2 bits, is going to have to be sterilised. So that's a given anyway. Yeah. That I'm not worried about. And then, yeah. So that's to make a Citra Pale. That's a lot of bloody stuff to make a Citra Pale, isn't it? And I think it's already gone through the malt mill or whatever it is. Does that mean it's all been smashed up already and it will release its sugary goodness? Got a lot to learn. Yeah. Funny thing is, I've been homebrewing myself since around about 2005. Yet still not really progressed any further. Not really wanted to progress any further. And it's only like last year, really, with the Wraggy's beer being made, and it's like it's not that hard. Doesn't look that hard, at least, to make these commercial beers and to do something as exciting as what local breweries, some of the local breweries are doing. Some really exciting beers. So, ooh, look at that. Certainly getting the malty on the nose. I thought I got a bit of chocolate then, on the nose. Obviously, I'm sniffing through at the moment through foam. Ooh, there's a flavour there. I need to start testing myself a bit more because I think sometimes with reviews I've gone off the boil a bit and I've not picked up on things. And sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. And sometimes, you drink some beers you're just like, oh god, it's one of them again. And I don't try and push myself. It's lovely smooth. There's a fruity element that I'm getting. Bloody drinkable. Very flipping drinkable. There's a hint of fruitiness. Am I right? Um, like I say, it's that is really easy drinking. Um, ooh, I could session big time on this. That is tasting absolutely lovely. Ooh. So I've got to be careful tonight because I'm brewing tonight. As soon as the wife vacates the kitchen, and so beer reviews may or may not happen tonight because. So I am now in brew mode. Yep, I've got literally 3 weeks worth of brewing because I've only got 2 proper fermenters. I've got a made up fermenter that I use sometimes, but only for stuff that I don't care about, and I care about everything that I'm brewing here. So I'm literally down to 2 fermentations, and then I can. Is the word rack off? I don't know. Do you know sometimes it's like I was at the brewery shop the other day, and they were coming up with these words, and I'm like, "What are you about?" And the words, obviously there's a standard set of flipping words that people use in the brewing processes and stuff, like racking off and all this. But I never call it that. I've got my own versions of whatever it is they're doing, and so these names and that they just don't give any iota. I don't. I just got my own version of a name, and then he explains it, and it's like, oh yeah. I know exactly what you're on about. I just didn't get the name, and is what it is, isn't it? So that's the old bottle in there. Look at that. Doesn't that look great? Sits well in a vocation glass as well. Like I say, the temperature of the room in here, it's going to be a bit more heady than what it would normally be, I presume. But it's a good looking head nonetheless. And it's nice and bubbly. Look at that. Look at the top. Not that you can see it properly. And I daren't tip it too much to the camera. God, this time last week I was driving down to London. That's a shit of a drive, that is. That M25's an absolute joke of a motorway. It is. It needs speed cameras and police to stop the idiots, because oh my god, there's lots of them. So typical Wraggy beer review. Talk a load of rubbish, and but I do talk about the beer obviously as well. And sometimes, you know, letting the beer breathe a little bit and seeing how it develops is interesting. I mean, I had a commercial beer yesterday, and I'll tell you now, it didn't taste anywhere near as nice as this. Can't tell you the name of the brewery, because just in case they watch this. But yeah, it didn't taste as good as this. So lads, you know, it just goes to show you that his own brewers can brew stuff just as good as commercial. I have no shadow of a doubt that the where is it? It's here somewhere. The Imperial Stout kit that from Love Brewing that I brew. I've done brews of that, and I've used chocolate fudge brownie flavouring in it. And I'll tell you now, it tastes as good, if not better, than a lot of commercial Imperial Stouts. And I'm talking about some big, highly rated brewers. You know, some of their beers that are on Untapped and getting silly scores. And you brew your own, and you're like, mine tastes better. And that's not just me saying that. When I've handed it out, not that many people have had a chance, because I don't usually have my beers out. They absolutely loved it too, and I'm tempted to. We're talking homebrew for a little bit. With the Russian Stout kit, I'm tempted to just add one bag of sugar to it, and then get some essence, and just play around with it a little bit this time. Keep it to a 40 pint. So I'm either going to go banoffee pie flavouring, or even plum, an imperial plum stout, or something along them lines. Anyway, not 100% sure yet, but yeah, that's me thinking. So, ooh. So they said this is a dry stout. I don't find it is that dry, to be fair. Flavour, you know, it's lovely. There is a fruitiness there. I'm getting malty, a little bit of fruity. I mean, it's like a hint, but I'm getting it. And I won't describe it as roasty toasty on the nose. I can smell malty. Like I said, I got into chocolate earlier. It's surprising what you get in beers. Obviously, it also depends what you've had before. There's so many variables. If we'd all been in the same environment all day, sniffing the same stuff, bear in mind your nostrils, when you're breathing in all day long, your nostrils take in whatever the smell is around you. Sometimes, and obviously you've got hairs in your nostrils, unless you're one of these that shapes his nostril hairs. But you've got hairs in your nostrils, so it's like if you've been somewhere really awful, you know, or had a good shite basically, and you can smell it, and it's like 5 minutes later, it's like, fucking hell, still smell that shit, and and then you sniff something, it's like, yeah, fucking hell, can't smell that, can I? And so these they're all variable, same as what you eat, what you've had that day. If you brush your teeth before, if you drank another bit, they're variables. And the air you breathe in as well, it all has a factor. That really is an easygoing stout with a touch of fruitiness, a little bit of chocolate on the nose, only a touch. and at room temperature, that into malt, its aroma is very, very subtle. I got it at the beginning, but it's very subtle now. But it's tasting lovely. It just tastes just bloody easy going, easy drinking stout. I'll leave a bit in, and then just then on the back end, I got a little bit of the roasty toastiness on the back end, and that's been missing the whole way through. How weird beers can be. Yeah, they can be so weird at times. We've all got different taste buds in essence. For me, I really enjoyed that. Against other homebrew, I'd say it was a good 4.4. Do scores really matter? No. Did I enjoy it? Hell yes. That's what really matters. I do wonder sometimes whether scores are a good or bad thing. Um, get what you get. Did you enjoy it? Yeah, that's the main thing. Would I recommend it? Yes. Are you going to get it? Most likely not, unless you know Timmons and Swaz and you live in Edinburgh, most likely. But massive thank you to both of you for this. It was really nice to taste somebody else's own brew. It's inspired me to go out and try my hand, and obviously the birthday money helped buy the equipment that I needed, and yeah, I've got some big home brewing to do as soon as I can get the kitchen, because at the moment wife's hogging the kitchen. She was there till late last night. She's there again now, and it's a real swine to get into your own kitchen. So I might go and watch some Obi-Wan, because I just fancy watching a bit of Obi-Wan. But in any case, cheers all. See you later.